What's up, YouTube family and Browns fans everywhere? This is Cleveland Football, and I'm your host, Terrence Hudson. All right, Victory Monday, coming off a huge win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cleveland, both quarterbacks. Will he play? Will he not play? I think it was a little bit of gamesmanship there by both teams, just trying to throw each other off. But at some point, somebody ain't gonna have to step off that sideline and get into the huddle and step on the field. And we saw Joe Flacco and we saw Trevor Lawrence. But what about Joe at 38? I call him St. Clair Joe. At 38 years old, out here doing it. Said he felt like a 10-year-old kid. Man. This guy 26 or 4 threw the ball 45 times. What happened to us running the ball? 26 or 45, 311 yards, 3 TDs. We saw Njoku had a big game with the 2 big touchdown grabs. Saw some stiff arm in there, some running past some guys there. And Flacco, he's just been named the starter for the remainder of the season, and it just goes to show as a quarterback. The last 2 things to go is this and this. So if you still got this up here, you still can read, you still can see and operate an offense, and he can still throw it. You can still play. You just got to give him time and keep him upright, and that's what we've been able to do. So that's why we're seeing success. So I like that. We're going to stick with him. I was glad to see that. That's what I wanted to see. They put him on practice squad. I'm like, practice squad? But we ended up bringing him back, and I think just a little bit. It's kind of throw the Jags off, so they didn't know what they were going to see. They would have to prepare for DTR and have to prepare, but they just didn't know, But we had our things together in that, and Flacco he looked great. He looked great, and I think he might have some revenge on his mind, because ain't no telling, come January, things going the way they're going, we could see that team from Maryland again with Flacco. And the thing I like about Flacco is the way he walk up to the line. He come out the huddle, he be walking up to the line slow, he be looking. It remind me of them old westerns. When the new guy in town, he walk around, he just be looking like, I'm the baddest dude in town. Like, what you guys go do? See, I used to have to watch westerns when I was little, because I got older brothers, and that's all they watch. Saturday mornings and Sundays before football, they watching Bonanza and all the other westerns that would come on. But that's what he remind me of. I'm the baddest dude in town. Like, he thought, I get you. With Flacco, there you go, 38 years old. Big game, nice game from Cooper. David Bell, that 1 catch for 41 yards. He beat the blitz, and that thing opened and parted like the Red Sea, and he just ran through. We had some big kicks there. The only thing things we need to tighten up, the turnovers. We cannot turn the ball over the way we were turning it over. Good thing our defense, which I would get to, was able to turn them over and get us the ball back. But 3 turnovers, we got to eliminate that. We need to get a little bit better on 3rd down, where we were only, 4 for 18, but we were 3 for 3 on 4th down, but we still got to get better on 3rd down and keep some drives and sustain some drives there. But other than that, nice job, man. Threw for over 300 with 3 TDs, and we were able to put some points up on the board. But let's talk about this defense, because hey, Trevor Lawrence, he decided to play, and I know he didn't look particularly well, but he's a young guy. Them guys heal fast, but we kept them in check. Held them under 300 yards total, 58 yards rushing. They were 7 for 17 on 3rd down. We saw 2 picks. MJ Emerson. All right, I think we got one of the most underrated deep defensive backfields as a group, as a whole, in the league. We got depth. We got depth from starters and even up into our 2nd and 3rd level guys. They come in and they play, and it's not a big drop off. All right, and these guys are opportunistic. They hit. They got some attitude. They're there. They play the ball in the air. We saw, guys swiping and reaching and getting the ball out where it would seem like it'll be a catch. So hats off to those guys. Greg Newsome with a pick. All right, we forced 4 turnovers. We saw sacks from Delpit. We hope Delpit isn't he won't miss any time with the injury that we seen. Hurst, big Hurst. We see him with a sack. Or Conroquo. I'm sorry, man. We saw him with a sack, and then Zendarius Smith. So the defense getting it back together. We look good. Still got some things we could clean up, eliminate a couple big plays, but overall, we look well, and we look much better at home. So Chicago's coming in. Chicago won't be an easy win. They beat up on the Lions yesterday, and I said, they 5-8, but it's still guys that still got things to play for. They're still motivated. I said it. Whether they playing for pride, whether they playing for incentives, whether they're fighting for the playoffs. There's some teams, some guys ain't gonna just lay down for you. Coach Matt Eberflus, and I actually, I don't know if I shared this story with you before, but the head coach of the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus. I know him. He's a Toledo guy, a Rocket, and he also was recruited me to go to the University of Toledo. And just for me, that was life changing for me. Came in my house, sat in my living room, talked to my mom and my brothers and whatnot, and offered me a scholarship. And I can remember that first day, or my first year as a redshirt freshman. He made a point every week to come in and find some time just to talk to me and catch up. And I was a receiver. I was on the offensive side of the ball. He was a defensive coach. But he made a point to find me every week, just sat down in the locker next to me, talk, see how things were going, see how I was doing. And I never forgot that. That was love right there. So shout out to Coach Eberflus. But this week we got to get you. We got to get you. And just watch how he worked his way up the ranks from position coach all the way now to a head coach in NFL. He ain't gonna lay down. These guys ain't gonna lay down. They coming in here to fight. Hey, but we gotta match their intensity, and that's what you're gonna have to do. All right, we see it week in and week out. Teams that come in with that juice, come in with that intensity. A lot of times they are able to overcome some of the things that they may lack, in talent, or another team just may be better on paper, have a better roster, but they coming in like, hey, I'm ready to do something to you. All right, and you got to be able to match that intensity. We saw it with the Cowboys and Eagles. We saw it with the Bills and Chiefs last night. You got to come in with that attitude. I'm ready to do something to you, man. All right, if somebody coming at you with that attitude, you got to be able to match their intensity. You got to meet force with force, and that's what we got to do. But hey, this is what I got for you today. Browns, let's do it. It's just what the doctor ordered. A big win over a team that won 9 straight road games. That's a big feat, 9 straight road games. So hey, that's what it is. If you like, hit the like button. Be sure to share, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe.